Hey, it's been a while. I know it's been a few days. I will get right into it on why I didn't continue my daily progress. And actually, to be quite honest, on several of these videos, I had to kind of go back and do a video for my progress for that particular day, especially on the days that I had weekend travel and things like that. So I am here again, Mary Guy. I am the person behind this channel. And for this month, I have been sharing videos pretty much every day up until this point, of course, of my May 2025 goals progress. So I set out to work towards set of goals in an effort to just grow as a person, be better, and then also be better about continuing making progress on goals after I've met them or exceeded them. One goal, an example, would be my health related goals. Right now, I'm focusing on my weight, but there are several other areas of my health that I'm actually focusing on as well. So, with self discipline as the key cornerstone of this, that's why each of the videos are titled at the top self discipline. Because through my studies and even through this month of looking into what self discipline is, the impact, the key aspects, how to implement it, how does it help you with relation to your goals, I found that it is very much important to have that self discipline. Self discipline is very important when it comes to my goals and when it comes to achieving my goals and when it comes to maintaining my goals. And I think that was a part of what I was missing because I can't say that I had self discipline. If I was able to lose 60 pounds and then all of a sudden those pounds come right back, that doesn't exemplify me having self discipline. So, because I was missing that because of the result of having to, well, I didn't gain all the 62 pounds back. Let me correct that. I gained 39 of those pounds back. On the journey of realizing that and realizing, hey, that's just me lacking self discipline. Well, I'm on this journey now where I am sharing my walk on improving my self discipline. And that to me is by documenting in these videos where I'm sharing my progress on my goals for each month. But there will be some changes because um, I may not do a video every day. It might just be once a week going forward. Because to be honest, I guess for this first month it was okay because I'm getting more like the foundation part of what self discipline is, sharing all different things about self discipline, how to implement my goals. But I just really truly want to, along with sharing, I'm still going to share different experiences, but giving me that whole week to kind of work on some other things during the time that I would normally use to shoot this video would probably allow me more time to work on some of my other goals that I have set forth that I will be sharing on tomorrow because tomorrow is June 1st. And that's just going to jumpstart what my goals are for that month. And then also, I have to do my weigh in just to see where my weight is at the beginning of that month. And I'm just going to redesign these videos and how I actually upload them and so forth. So I'll be sharing that and you'll see when I'll actually, but it'll at least be once a week. I think once a week is reasonable. It gives me enough time to work on other things. It gives me, I mean, a week is a pretty good time span to be able to track my progress on whatever my goals are. So that's what I'll probably do going forward. Today, I'm just going to go ahead and close off this month by sharing with you guys my progress on my goals for the remaining days from May the 27th all the way to the 31st. And then also like recapping all the different things that I've accomplished so far as it relates to my goals. So let's just go ahead and jump into it. But before I do that, I want to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe below if these videos are of interest to you, as it will just better help you be able to see when I drop more videos like this. Okay, so for May 2025, I set out to accomplish six goals. And the first goal is to earn at least $2,000 from a supplementary income that I will today share with you what that particular income is, and maybe some little things here and there. And maybe later on throughout the month, I will share about this particular endeavor. Goal number two is to pay off Chase credit card. My total balance on this credit card was $13.84 at the beginning of this month. Goal number three is to lose at least 10 pounds. My starting weight as of April 27th was 239 pounds. Goal number four was to start a sequel course on Microsoft to advance skills. Goal number five, read, study, and meditate on self discipline. And then goal number six, implement self discipline in all areas of my life. So let's go ahead and see my progress on that goal number one. So I did a calendar and I just each day share how much, whether or not I was able to earn money on that day, depending on whatever was going on, other things I had to do throughout that day or whatever. So I just each day share how much did I earn. So you can see that for that first week, I earned a total of $370. The second week of this month, I earned $369. The third week of this month, I earned $373. Fourth week of this month, I earned $340, and that put me right at having to earn $546 for the remaining week for this month. And my goal was to actually, I set out and planned that this would be my first full week of actually focusing on earning money each day. And so I was very optimistic that I would be able to earn that $500, considering that I would have this full week. So on Sunday, I actually started out the week pretty good by earning $162. Monday, $56. And then Tuesday, I actually took me a break. Wednesday, same thing. Thursday. So I actually kind of went away from my plan, which is okay because self health is important too. So I took those days of just moments to rest. Like I just felt exhausted. So I listened to my body. I was aware with my mind. Could I have pushed myself to do that? Very well, much so, but I don't know how that would have affected me long run. But I just decided to take those 3 days in the hope that maybe on Friday, Saturday, I would be able to regain myself. So let's just see with that how much I would have had to earn on Friday and Saturday in order to still meet my goal. So I was at 546.59 minus the $162.75 minus the $56.07. So I was giving myself 2 days to earn $327. Divide that by two, that's on average $163 for each day. And I haven't earned that, not on a Friday so far. I haven't earned that at all. So on Friday, I actually earned $72. I actually committed most of my normal Friday time towards earning money. So that pretty much was what I was able to earn. And then today I was able to earn $116. I kind of also cut myself short today to give myself time to rest. And I can tell you on those days that I actually rested this week, I literally was resting like sleep. That just shows how much I was pushing myself when it comes to this and other things that I had going on, going out for the weekend and then coming back and earning as much as possible and stuff like that. So I really was napping, like really my body was really needing that rest. And so for this week, even though, I did rest a whole lot more than normal, I actually earned the most out of all the weeks this week. And it was only 4 days that 4 days, and I would say only one complete day. On Sunday is the day that I used a whole day, a pretty good amount of that day to earn towards earning. But the other days I gave myself rest. And I still did good by earning $406.99. After this, excuse me, I'm probably gonna think about going back to my normal schedule when it comes to this particular goal. Just because this is only one of the many things that I am earning money from. And I say many, but I'm manifesting the many because there are several other things that I have ideas and earning money from that I may not be all the way earning money the way that I should be able to from. So delegating my time towards going back to the weekends, mostly trying to earn during that time. And then I also want to spend time with my son during this holiday break. And then maybe there might be some days where I will earn money. I might switch it to Thursday, Friday, Saturday instead of Friday, Saturday, Sunday, because there's some Sundays. Most Sundays I'm not able to earn on this venture. But needless to say, I did make it very close to meeting my goal. I was only shy of $139. And had I worked those 3 days, I'm sure I would have met that goal. But I prioritize my rest. And a lot of times when it comes to this venture, I do that. Like if I am, even though I know I can earn $200, $300 or whatever, if I'm tired, I give my body that awareness to say, hey, I need to actually, stop this for today and continue it tomorrow. Is, taking that as a priority is a must for me because I always want to be self aware and acknowledge how my body is feeling. So, to kind of share, and I should have just blacked this out. I should have just, let me just go here and go ahead and share what that actually is. So, let me unbowl or whatever this. There we go. So, my secondary income, I'll just start here. Secondary income is DoorDash. Yay, it's DoorDash. So I started this in 2021, I believe. And it was after my separation, moving out into my home here with my son. And I remember it was on a Sunday. I can't remember exactly the day, but I heard about it from one of my coworkers when I was teaching. And that's when it first dawned on me about this whole door. I think that's when it was first starting out, really, before 2021, around COVID time, I believe. But I just never really took it to do until afterwards. And then I tried out, just said, how much? And it actually it didn't take very long to sign up for. It was like I signed up for it, and that same day I was able to go ahead and start dashing. And I started actually dashing not where I reside. I dashed in a city next to where I reside. I don't know if it was really much going on, much activity going on in the place where I resided at that particular time. But over time, I started dashing where I reside. And then I came across some other dashers that were mentioning to me about Tallahassee, which is not too far from where I'm at, but it's in a whole nother state. I actually reside in Georgia. And they were saying, hey, man, you should really try it down in Tallahassee. Like, you get orders just back to back to back to back. Like here, I actually like dashing here in my where I reside because I stay very close to the areas where business like people order from. And so I could go home, I could do like laundry, I could clean up around the house, do whatever I need to do while I'm waiting on another order to come to my phone. And then when an order comes to my phone, I just go and pick it up, take it to them. It's like short distance. It really wasn't traveling. I really wasn't having to travel so far by dashing here. And I was able to earn pretty good just dashing here in this small town. A lot of people actually do dashing. They order their food through dashing, DoorDash. Then I started mostly, now I go to Tallahassee because of the back to back to back, and because of the security of knowing that I will more than likely get some big orders. And Dash has changed over time. Like they have different ratings, and that was something new within the last year or so, where you have different statuses. And I'm actually on platinum status. They have silver, gold, and then platinum. Platinum is supposed to give you the most offer, like the biggest offers, and you have to have a certain acceptance rate, completion rate, customer rating, and deliveries. You have to have delivered at least 100 deliveries over the past 30 days. So you have to maintain that in order to maintain your platinum status. And then now something new that they've introduced is giving you a pass. So if you were on platinum status, and like for me, sometimes my rating drops because if I'm going out of town for the weekend or going on a trip, I don't dash for those days, and then maybe when I come back, I'm giving myself those days to rest. So depending on my dash for the past 30 days, if it goes below 100 dashes over the time that I'm taking off for travel and rest, then my status would drop. Well, now they have this new thing where it's a platinum pass. So you just have to maintain your platinum status for 4 weeks and you'll earn a pass. So then, if I had a moment where I took a break and my dashing amount for the past 30 days goes below 100, I can actually use my pass to maintain my status. So when I start back dashing, I'm still dashing at the platinum status, which is going to give me those catering. I actually earned the highest that I've earned, and I've earned several highest deliveries was like $40, $50, big catering deliveries and such. So it really is beneficial. And then too, like when you can earn $30 on average in an hour, like I do my hourly rate sometimes, and I notice that I'm able to earn $30 on average in an hour. That's more than most jobs are paying. So that's a pretty good pay rate. So DoorDashing for me has just really been a flexible job. And then with my son, I'm able to take him along. I'm not having to worry about where is he going to be. He can actually come along with me, learn life lessons when it comes to dashing and all types of things like that. And so it just was a great thing, and I plan on continuing to do it. Now it might change. Sometimes I switch up. I think there has been a year where I fully dashed the whole year. I've taken like breaks, like months, and I just picked back up last year around September ish. And I think I dashed earlier on that year. But this year is the year where I'm trying to see if I can like consistently, dash every month of this year. And so far, I've done pretty good. January, February, March, April, May, I've dashed pretty consistent during those months. And then I'm going to continue on and just see how far I'm able to get and how much money I'm able to earn. And hopefully, eventually, once I get my budget to where I want to be, most of my door dashing money could go straight into my savings. That could funnel into my savings, whatever it is that I am attempting to do. But dashing is only one of my other side things that I have. There's one that I am going to actually focus on for the month of June, and so that's why me doing my videos by the week is going to help me with delegating time towards dashing, towards getting rest. So then I'm not having to take off so many days um, towards my other endeavor of earning money. Because I do need to put in time to earn for that one as well. So as you can see on this chart, And I'll continue sharing something like this, even though it won't necessarily be my goal. It's just to keep track of how much money am I earning on my supplementary incomes. And DoorDash will be just one of them. And then I'll introduce the next one, and I'll kind of keep track of both at the same time so that it can kind of be like a combined tracking of it. But I was very, very close. And look at there. I was gonna try to at least say that I was able to beat how much I earned in the month of March, but I'm just like $1.45 or $2.45. So you can see I'm yawning. So rest is very important. $2.45 shy of meeting what I did in March, and then $139 and some change away from meeting my goal for this month. But that's okay. I try to remind myself not to push myself to be perfect. So even though it is a goal to achieve all my goals, it's unrealistic to say that I will always achieve all my goals. Sometimes I'll get very close. And I think the whole initiative behind setting this goal is to push myself to earn as much as I can earn during this month. And I think that getting close to $2,000 is pretty close. Because $2,000 in a year, if I was able to push myself to earn that each month, would be $24,000 additional onto what I'm making on my job. So that would be a very great plus. Like, considering if this was able to go directly towards savings and investments, that's a lot of money that I would be able to invest and save. So my goal is to try to get my budget in a more manageable state with my credit cards and things like that, and how I'm structuring up my budget to be able to funnel in more. So then I can feel like, hey, all of this effort that I'm putting towards these supplementary incomes is actually really paying me off, because it's not going directly towards bills, and it's actually going towards setting myself up for the future. Goal number two, pay off Chase credit card. I actually set up a goal plan to pay off it by the 22nd by paying $462 by May the 10th. And then I had to revamp myself to pay off the remaining amount for the month of May. And so I've met that goal, got that down to zero. I can say I have had to make some additional purchases this month, which was like just 30 something dollars. So I will be paying that off immediately, because I'm not trying to rack up the balance again, because I have another balance I need to focus on. So I'll just keep this one in a manageable range. I think it's like $35 or whatever. That's very, I'll be able to pay that off easily. Just to keep that down so it's not, becoming another goal where I have to set out to push myself to make these very, very high payments. Because I have another one that I'm going to be paying off, and it's going to be my Best Buy account. I'm going to be pushing myself for the month of June to pay that off. And if I earn $395 each week in June, then that would be able to take care of the cost of paying that off. So for the 4 weeks in June, if I was able to make $395 each of those weeks, I would be able to pay that off easily. So that's goal number two. Goal number three is to lose at least 10 pounds. And I have met that goal as of May 2020 or May 25th. This past Sunday, I actually weighed myself and I was at 227.4, which is well below the 10 pound. So I was down. I actually, if I was to consider May the 1st as my first day, I actually lost 9.6 pounds, which is right around 10 pounds. But my starting weight that I weighed myself was April the 27th, and I weighed at 239. So I'm interested to know how much I actually weigh tomorrow. I will do another weigh in just to see how much I weigh. and then I'll share that. And probably when I share that, I'm not going to go through all of these goals for the month of May because it'll now be June. That's when I'll reveal my new goals, and kind of the game plan on how I'm going to design my videos and so forth. So that is 239 minus 227.4. A total of 11.6 pounds that I lost. And I'm interested to see if I've lost any more when I weigh myself on June the 1st, or if, and hopefully the weight hasn't gone up, hopefully it's gone down, or at least maintained somewhere around 227. Goal number 4, start SQL course on Microsoft Advanced Skill. I shared in my previous videos how setting this as a part of my routine during my work schedule has really helped me. I was able to finish this course in a matter of 4 days versus when I was trying to do module 1 and it took about 15 days without a routine, and probably would have taken the whole month. I more than likely probably wouldn't have reached this goal, and I would have been drained and tired trying to reach it because I didn't set aside any time to do it. So I used one of my strategies of routine, setting a routine and blocking out time and saying, this is the time that I'm going to use to work towards the sequel course. And when I did that, I was able to go through it pretty quickly. Goal number 5, read, study, and meditate on discipline. So for this month, just to kind of briefly go over, the first week, I focused on self-discipline and in its importance and not allowing it to be a hindrance, because if I don't have it, it's going to hinder me from reaching how far I could reach. If I have self-discipline, I could go well beyond my intelligence and my talent alone will take me. So I need to work on that. So that kind of sits in the back of my mind to remind me that is important. Week 2, I studied about behavior, routine, and habits and how those can help build stronger willpower and help me achieve my goals more effectively. And I've actually applied it in several cases. I have a routine when it comes to the gym. I have a routine at my job. I set aside time for working on educational things, which allowed me time to work towards my goal number 4. I'm building my habits, my eating habits, my nutritional habits, just being aware when it comes to food and how much I'm intaking, and not falling by the wayside when it comes to temptations. Because there could be many times where I say, man, I've made it so far. I could have a bag of chips, or I could have that piece of candy. It's only one piece of candy, but it always starts with one. And so I just want to continue throughout, especially since I'm weighing myself tomorrow. I don't want anything that would make that scale go up. I want that scale to stay where it is or go down. I want to actually see how far, because I actually have more weight to lose to reach my goal weight. On one of my videos, I shared my BMI, and it was like in the 30s, like 35. And my highest weight, 262, which was December 2023. Yeah, because 2024 was the year that I lost the 62 pounds. I was at 41 BMI, and I'm trying to get myself out of the category of obese. I'm currently in class 2 obesity, is what it said, with a BMI of 35. Yeah, class 2. Yep, class 2. And then there's one before it. Let's just see. Yeah, so I'm considered extremely obese. That's crazy, right? When you think about it, extremely obese. And if I can get it down just 1 point, I'll just be obese. If I can get my index down by 5, I'll just be overweight. And then I'll have to go all the way down to 18.5 to 24 as a BMI to just be considered normal. And I don't want to be less than 18 because then that'll be underweight. So I have two more areas to jump along in order to reach my normal, the normal range. So yes, I'm still working on that. And so that is just in the back of these statements are in the back of my mind that I can pull to the front of my mind whenever needed to just remind me on my vision towards self-discipline. Week number 3, pay myself first. Pay yourself first, prioritizing savings before spending. That was something that came about from me budgeting for the weekends that I went out of town, and then also tracking my spending, how much I was spending in the past, and realizing that I was really like spending a whole lot of money, and saying, hey, I need to regain control of my budget and put some of that money towards savings and investments so that I'll have money for travel. I have money for emergency things. I have money so when things happen, it won't throw me for a loop. So that's going to be, I know for sure, going to be one of my focuses for the month of June is how to implement that and to get those savings started. Week number 4, empathy. Empathy. I know I need to work on empathy. So my resonating statement for that week was dealing with empathy. Empathy equips you with the ability to manage stress and regulate your emotions by understanding others' emotional states. You can respond with compassion and support, which can also have a positive, that still is a typo there, which can also have a positive impact on your own stress level. So I have to be more empathetic with people, even when I don't agree with their situation. It's not necessarily that I don't agree with their situation, but I might feel like, man, they could have avoided that. Or it might be somewhat of like I get to a point where sometimes things just seems like a complaining session. And I'm a person that likes to find a resolution. I don't like to waddle in my whatever situation it is. And sometimes I might not show much empathy because I might feel like I'm enabling a person. And then also, if they have anxiety, I'm like, well, I can be empathetic, but I don't want to give it too much energy because it's just fueling your anxiety. So, but I could still recognize that I do need to be more empathetic and trying to find that balance of when and when not. But I think you should always be empathetic no matter what. You should still show empathy to people. Whether or not it doesn't matter. And then this week, giving myself grace is very important. So giving myself grace is crucial while improving self-discipline because it fosters a mindset of continuous improvements and prevents self-sabotage. So for me, that first goal, giving myself that grace to rest, giving myself that grace to not push myself beyond my limits to just meet this goal, and understanding that, hey, the whole purpose of having this goal is for continuous improvement. I don't have to get to the finish line this month, but look how far I've come, like recognizing and acknowledging my efforts and forgiving mistakes and moving forward with renewed motivation rather than getting stuck in my feelings of guilt or failure. So I'm not going to allow it to get me down because I didn't reach that goal. I can realize and know that I would have been able to reach that goal. There's no doubt that I would have reached that goal, but at what cost? Would I not listen to myself and push myself beyond my limits and not allow myself that moment of rest when my body is telling me to rest? I don't want to take that as a cost because, yes, it's nice to earn these extra funds, but I have to put myself as top priority. And also, when it comes to my son as well, spending time with him, quality time with him beyond just door dashing is a very great priority in my mind. So whenever those moments come and my body makes myself aware of it, I listen and I take a break. We go to urban air or we do some other fun activities, hanging around the house, relaxing, those things are important as well. I don't want to be the one that is saying that I got to go and achieve these goals every single day. Goals, 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 goals. Where I'm just rushing myself around and about just to reach these goals, but I'm draining myself to know more abilities. Like now I'm burning myself out to where I won't be able to continue with these things, or I might slack off because I've burnt myself out so bad. So yes, giving myself grace, that is something that I want to keep in my mind frame. And goal number 6, implement discipline in all areas of my life. I've looked at the areas of my mind, self care, career wise. How can I better manage my time at work and finances with my budget? I've looked at all those things that second week of this month. And then I looked into my body, implementing it through working out at the gym, my diet, low carb, low calorie, high protein, and walk breaks have been very helpful with clearing my mind and physically keeping me sane. Recreation wise, taking those days off, work life balance, my activities align with my goals. I'm making time for things that is gonna push me towards my meeting my goals. Organization, using my calendars on my phone for my personal events, engagements, meetings, deadlines, appointments, so forth and so on. And then using my calendar at work for my meetings at work and my PTO and things like that. And also using work logs to help me through my um, through whatever task I have to complete. As far as my heart, being open with my communication when it comes to anyone, my boyfriend, my family, my friends, making sure that those boundaries are known. Emotionally, empathy is a must, that I need to work on, sharing and having that empathy for others. Socially, actively listening and paying attention to what others have to say. Understanding their point of view is like a strength of mine because I try not to ever assume. I always ask clarifying questions and so forth, just so I can hear it from them what they mean versus me putting my own definition of what they mean. And then this week, I focused on implementing discipline in the areas of my soul. So, character wise, during this week, I maintained integrity by being honest and doing the right thing. Um, I could say an example. Well, overall, I'm honest. I'm just an honest person. I just rather tell the truth, and telling a lie just doesn't do anything for me. And I wouldn't want to do that to anyone, just like I wouldn't want anybody to do that to me. So, for example, in my relationship, I was honest. I'd be open and honest about a lot of things in this relationship that I'm in. One particular incident, I was just asking for his side and point on things regarding an incident that had arisen this week. And then heard him out, shared with him why I was asking him that and so forth. And so he get a full picture of that. So then I kind of took his advice and I actually did what I probably wouldn't have done on my own. Then I went back to him and was honest about, hey, this is what I did. I actually took the advice from you. Here's what happened, blase, blase, blase. So he was in the know of everything. And just that open honesty provides that vulnerability that is needed to say that you're able to trust someone or your relationship. And so I was honest about that. I did the right thing by sharing it with him. I did the right thing by not taking things further than what it should be taken regarding situation, being respectful and mindful of the person that I'm with, and always letting them be in the know of what's going on. So it's not like oh, I didn't know that. So that is my integrity, just being honest. I showed myself and others kindness and compassion. Of course, this week I took several days off when I could have been earning money on my supplementary income that would have lended itself to meeting my goal, but I prioritized myself over pushing myself beyond my limits to earn that at all means necessary. Even though I did not meet my goal to earn at least $2,000, I remain resilient and motivated. So, best believe I'm still motivated on this self discipline journey, and I am still eager to see how far it's going to take me. My purpose. During this week, I maintain my purpose by improving self discipline. I'm still on the journey of self discipline, so that is my purpose. I reconfirm that my purpose is not to be perfect, but to embrace each moment to learn and improve. So I'm not here to just, even though I would love to reach all of my goals, I'm not going to set an unrealistic expectations on myself to be so hard on myself if I don't reach every single goal. I'm going to take the moment as a learning and growing lesson and saying, hey, look how far I was able to push myself this month. I actually came very close. So then what can I do for the remaining months? Not trying to always be that 100% ace it all student. And I know that is a area I have to be very aware of for myself because I am an overachiever. I try to do it all. I I can overcompensate a lot of times when it comes to things. And a lot of times that tends to burn me out. It really does. And so I'm not able to continue on because I've pushed myself so far to where I can't do anymore. So I don't want to do that. I want to embrace each moment to learn and improve, to learn when to give and when to take, when to sacrifice and when to actually push myself and having a balance there. And then I am striving to live a purposeful life through my actions and persistence. So I'm continuing on in my purpose. And spirituality wise, I've implemented fasting. Actually, I've implemented fasting several times throughout this whole month. Um, that self control, self discipline, is a part of the fruits of the spirit. And I think it caters to a lot of the other fruits of the spirit. When you're able to have self control, you're able to show better love towards people. You're better to have love, joy, peace, happiness, long suffering, patience. It kind of lends itself to these others as well. So allow myself time to rest spiritually. That is much needed for the soul, for the mind, for the body, for my complete self. So I commend myself with doing that. And so recapping my goals, here are my goals for May 2025. And out of them, I have met five out of six. That's pretty good in my book. That is well over passing. If I were to do a percentage, 5 out of 6 is 83%. And I would even say probably 99% because I was very, very close to meeting that goal number one. And so, again, here are my progress on my goals. I'm just here being an open book, sharing with you guys what my goals are. And hopefully, someone somewhere will be able to sit down and make them some goals and see how you're able to progress on them as well as self discipline. But until next time, I will talk to you later. Tomorrow, check in to see what my June 2025 goals are. And then I have to also decide when am I going to do my videos? Am I going to do it on a Sunday or am I going to make it a Saturday? I might switch things to a Saturday just for the simple fact that I know on Saturdays I have the time to do a video and upload it. And then Sundays normally that is the time where I spend with my in my relationship. So I don't want to take away any time there. So I probably switch to Saturdays every Saturday. At the end of the week I'll do a recap. So I'll weigh myself tomorrow just as a starting point of the month of June. And then from there, I'll start doing my track and my progress on whatever my goals for the month of June are on Saturday. So I'll just be uploading one video each week. And I might, who knows, might have some other videos that I might upload throughout the week. It all depends. But I'm just starting right now with one video each week so that I can delegate a little bit more of my time towards some of my other goals. But until next time, y'all have a blessed day. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe below. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.